All right, everybody, and now I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by the band's guitarist. Welcome to Knotfest Daily. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's such an exciting time right now because tomorrow you'll be performing at Knotfest Pulse of the Maggots 2X21 Festival, and you have been tirelessly and silently working on an outstanding production performance for everyone, which you recently announced is called the Bronze Hall. So, are you able to kind of share any hints as to what everyone can enjoy tomorrow during the live stream?
Well, I prefer to catch people by surprise because I know, well, at least our fans are not expecting this kind of production value from us. But well, since we're doing this festival and performing with a lot of really talented people together with us and people that do care for their visuals as much as we do. We decided to bet it all, and what I can say is that we went to a really, really fantastic gold or bronze museum and did our performance there in one of those halls, one of those rooms, and the result is staggering. Is I really, really love what we did there, and I really can't wait to share this with everyone.
I cannot wait to see more because simply from that 30-second, it might have even been a 15-second clip that you shared on your Instagram page, I just thought, oh my gosh, this looks stunning. So to hear, your kind of music in a hall that's just so gorgeous like that, I'm just absolutely thrilled for the juxtaposition and just the theatrics of it all. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's us, a really beautiful location, and total madness for 25 minutes. It will be something for our memorabilia for sure in a lot of years to come. And yeah, it's really something unique because we always thought, well, if we're doing streaming and online presence, of course with the current situation, let's do it the best way we can, not just closing ourselves down in our basement or whatever rooms or rehearsal space. Let's really put some effort into finding locations that really tell a story as much as we do, and go full mode madness in these videos and performances, and that's what we did. I really hope people can enjoy this.
I think it's going to be absolutely a memorable one for sure. And just kind of speaking to memorable shows, you never ever forget your first concert. So, what was the first live show you ever chose to go to?
Me personally,
Yes.
well, if there are Portuguese people watching this interview, they will probably they'll will for sure know the name of the Weasel, and that was the first concert I ever went to, really close to the place I grew up. It was a fantastic group mixing hip hop elements with rock and actually a lot of metal elements too. They broke up a lot of years ago, but it's still one of the most interesting acts we ever had in this country. And it's good to know it was one of my first concerts to go to.
It's awesome. Well, a lot of the songs that you'll be performing tomorrow, and just some of the releases you've been putting out, the tracks are about despair, kind of being tested by the world, and then, of course, self destruction. So, what moments or experiences for you made you really want to dive in and write about these topics?
Well, it's the world we live in, isn't it? It's a despairing world. Everything's falling apart at some point. We don't have to look at it in a oppressive or too far utopian style, because we choose to love people as much as we hate them. We love them because they are our source of inspiration, at least in this band. And we hate them because we acknowledge our flaws as humans. We are human, and we can for sure take a deep dive in our psyche and know what really is not working, at least personally or in society. So yeah, it's these experiences being humans in a human world that shape our vision in this band. It's a very urbanistic band. We never were, well, a ritualistic act.
Right.
But, well, you can see our videos, our aesthetics, read our text, and know that this band is really inspired by the individual lost in the big cities, his experiences and the way he, well, goes through it and learns from it and gets destroyed and ripped apart from his daily life. And yeah, the music is all about, well, this concept we write about all the time, and it's growing. It's growing as we continue this band and tour together, spend a lot of time together, and everything inspires us from really brief moments or small episodes we had with people we will never meet again on tour, to places and even the city where we rehearse on. All of these characters that are surrounding us inspire us in some point to write about them in the third person or to write music about them. Inspiration, humans.
Right. And you had mentioned they're touring together and over the years, and it's been really interesting to see that the band have had different lineup changes, but it isn't really obvious due to, of course, the overall anonymity of you all. So, what qualities must one have in order to actually join the band? Are there any characteristics you look for where you're like, yeah, they definitely fit?
Well, we are with this current lineup for a good 2 to 3 years now, since we first started to really tour Europe. Was first and the only lineup that was able to, well, cross this country and get into a van and tour Europe for several times, even Asia. But yeah, I guess it took some time to settle in with the right people, and right people for me was always people that, of course, they can play and handle their instruments without, well, messing a lot of time.
Right. Important.
Of course, yeah, and yeah, but not kidding now. It's a very intense band because we really live for this. It's not our main job, but we do work on this band and this project on a daily basis, and everybody needs to be focused on all fronts to make this work, in order to make this grow. And that's the most important thing for me with this current lineup. Everybody's really into what everybody needs to do. Everybody needs to work on this part or that front or whatever logistic part. And I think this only works that way because we found people that they know that they're well, sacrificing their daily lives and their, well, whatever, girlfriends or kids, which is not the case, but work-wise, and that's all for a common goal, which is growing their art and grow up as individuals from that. It's the only thing that really or the key thing for being in this band. We're not casting, but that's the thing that we really care about. People that can really live for this as much as we do.
It's really interesting learning even those little tidbits about some of the members simply because of the mystery surrounding all of you. So I do appreciate you sharing a little bit of insight into that. But the last thing I wanted to ask you about is just a couple of weeks ago, you actually celebrated 5 years as a band and 5 years of just growing as a unit and leaving a mark in thousands of souls out there. So when you kind of think back to your first moments of the band, is there anything that comes to mind or just any specific memories, just seeing as to how far you guys have actually really come?
Yeah, this is funny because we were in the studio that we normally record at last weekend, and our producer had this old pile of magazines from a magazine of our country, and I started to read some reviews, and some of them were from shows in 2017, which was our first show, January 20th, 2017. It was in a nice venue in Porto, in a festival called North Dissonant Voices, and it was our first show. And I do remember there were some heads turning off, or just going around, because at first this was totally new for them, and we were really, how do I say, intrigued by the reaction, and I was actually not planning to do more shows after that one. And yeah, honestly, it's still one of our best shows. It was really special to play in that venue, which is now closed, for that people that now all of them follow us religiously, fortunately. And yeah, it was a good memorabilia to read again that critique, or that review, which wasn't really good at the point, or at the time, because of the concept, because of the fucking masks. People really can't get their way around it. But today it's good to see that we came to a point that people can respect us, because we truly care for this, and we work for this, and we earned our spot, at least in this country.
It's so incredible hearing about those beginnings and just seeing how far you've come, the frequency of shows now, especially with the world opening up. Of course, everyone's going to be watching you on Pulse of the Maggots 2x21 tomorrow. So I really do just want to say thank you so much for taking the time, for coming on to the show, just opening up about things behind the scenes. It has been an absolute pleasure being able to speak with you. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. And yeah, let's have a great show tomorrow.
Yes, ready to see you guys rock out. It's going to be fantastic. But to everyone watching, a massive thank you to the guitarist of Gaerea for joining me today. And of course, tomorrow you can catch them 3 p.m. PT is the start time of our Pulse of the Maggots 2x21 massive live stream festival. But again, thank you so much for taking the time.
Sure. Thank you.